Hello everybody and welcome to the first round of Formula Trophy right here in the United Arab Emirates. A very short season, just 3 rounds of racing, and well, it's time to go racing for the very first time right here in the United Arab Emirates. Behind me will be 24 drivers, just over the age of 15, all vying for one thing: a race victory today and a championship title when it comes to the end of Formula Trophy in 2 weeks' time. That's right, only 3 weeks of racing. It's going to be the Formula Trophy. It's a very jam-packed and tight schedule, but qualifying's been quite interesting. We had 2 sessions earlier today, and there was one man in particular that took the top step in every session that we had. That was the young Turkish driver, Aksoy, a rookie as well, with a blistering time of a 2:01.552. Now, Rowan Campbell-Pilling was in close proximity to him, but was 2/10 of a second off of that time in the first qualifying session, but that was still good enough for second place. Teo Palmer, the Australian, will line up on in third position in the number 7 on row number 2, and alongside him will be the number 19. But as you can see behind me, the grid is very empty. Well, it's lacking a couple of cars. Well, actually, it's lacking all 24 cars, but what we have here is a packed grid of teams, fans, drivers. Even behind the scenes, we have a lot of people here that are waiting patiently for the Formula Trophy cars to arrive on the scene here. We want to get a quick word in with our pole sitter here as well, because being a rookie is no easy feat. And you would have thought with this being a Formula Trophy, it makes things a bit more, well, I guess there'd be more rookies in the field. There are a significant amount of rookies, and you thought, okay, the ones who've done it before, they know a thing or two about doing this. But to be a rookie and be this quick out of the box is nothing short of incredible. What the young Turkish driver did is absolutely incredible with that time of 2:01.552. I mean, if we look through the grid, we have drivers who've done British F4, a very competitive series over what we call here the summer break, and qualifying in 8th position. That's, of course, Adam Al-Azhari, who we love having on the grid. It's a family affair because dad and brother are here as well, supporting him throughout his campaign in the Formula Trophy. So we'll see if we get word with him as well. Now you can see the cars starting to come towards our position here, including this man right here, the man who's racing for Mumbai Falcons Racing Limited, our pole sitter Alp Aksoy here, the rookie. What an incredible drive from him in qualifying. It didn't look like he was going its way through qualifying too. He sort of shuffled down the order in the early stages, but then when it came to the final 10 minutes, he really showed just how quick he can be. And for a rookie, that is mighty impressive. Now, I do think it might be a little bit difficult here actually to talk to some of the drivers because of what's going on here, because if you look there, and you can probably hear that noise as well, that noise there is from that blower. Now, what that blower is doing is obviously blowing cold air into the engine so it doesn't overheat while it's sat here stationary on the grid. And, of course, the team, you can see they've also got a blower with them as well, that blows cold air into the face of out there. Yes, we have the shade here. Yes, it is a lot cooler than earlier it was this morning, but it is still quite warm here, right? We're looking at about just under 30 degrees centigrade here, which for us is cold, but for a lot of people who are from Europe and Asia and America, South America, this actually is quite warm for them as well. And plus, they've got the added helmet on top of their head. They've got the racing overalls as well. So why don't we just, instead of having a chat with the drivers, because I do think it'll be quite difficult with all the noise here, it would be, let's have a walk down and see who we can find here. So actually, Rowan Campbell-Pilling in the 42 right here. You can see the XL Motorsport team there just propping the car up, and what they'll be doing now is they'll be checking tyre pressures, because you can see in the hand there of one of the team personnel, he's going to check the pressure on the tyres all around on these slick Pirelli rubbers. They'll be laying down rubber throughout this 25-minute session here for Formula Trophy. Then as we look further down, we have the number 7, Teo Palmer, the Australian here for high-tech TGR here on the grid as well. He lines up in third. It's quite a staggered grid as well. Over the course of the weekend, we're used to actually having 2 cars share the front row of the grid, but here they're staggered as if they were in a Formula 1 race, because of course all of these drivers here, while they have this trophy in mind at the end in 3 weeks' time, they're actually all looking at the bigger picture. They all want to be the stars of Formula 1, and it's not really a dream, right? It's actually an achievable dream, I guess we could say, and it's something that they can do. If we look back at who has participated in championships here in F4 Middle East all those years ago, the likes of Oscar Piastri, who are currently fighting for a championship could potentially go down to the wire, or it could end all here tonight in Qatar. But it's amazing to see that all of these young drivers have come here for much needed track time, for much needed testing, and they're going to go into the championships next season, whether it be F4 Middle East, whether it be F4 Italy, Britain, Spain, anywhere in the world. They all have an advantage here. All 24 of these young stars have that advantage. So let's try and go a little bit further down the field, because what I really like as well is there is a lot of UAE flags waving here, because we have a lot of drivers here who are representing the United Arab Emirates. Actually, you know what? Let's see if we can get a quick word in with Kevin Day while he's walking around here. Kevin, you've done a magnificent job setting up XL Motorsport. I mean, it grows and grows every season. You've got one car at the front there, so you must be happy, right?
Yeah, very happy with that, yeah. It's a great start to the season, being P2 in the first race. We'll see where we are at the end of it.
And how did it all come together with, of course, now XL Motorsport also being a part of British F4 as well? Where did that come about? How did you expand?
We had to expand out of the UAE. The UAE is just a short season to make it worthwhile as a team. We had to compete elsewhere, so we got F4 and we got GB3, which we picked up a P2 in the drivers for GB3 this year.
Well, it's great to hear from you, Kevin. Of course, go up down to second position. Good to see you as always. Let's have a look. Let's see if we go further down. Let's go see if we can find one of the stars from the UAE who actually raced in British F4, waving the flag of the United Arab Emirates very proudly, and also representing essentially the UAE as a whole, because Yassi Racing, there is the car there. That's the number 12 of Adam Al-Azhari. Now, I'm keeping my distance because we might have to clear the grid. Actually, we have to clear it right now, which is very unfortunate. We didn't even get halfway through. We didn't get to speak to any drivers because it is very loud. There are a lot of things that still happen on the grid that we don't want to just, you know, annihilate your speakers or your headphones out there, because it does get quite noisy. It kind of quietens down here as everything is moved off, but we also have to move up, because what we have coming up next is the first race of Formula Trophy right here in the United Arab Emirates. I am very, very excited to get this underway. In fact, I was so excited I forgot there was a second qualifying session. That's how excited I am, and that's how excited everyone here should be. As team personnel coming through, got to make sure the cameraman doesn't get hurt as he's making his way back, because he's, of course, walking backwards. So we will bid you farewell for now, and we will rejoin you back in the commentary box for the first race of Formula Trophy here, where, of course, we have Alp Oksoy, the man that's just over there, the young Turkish driver who put it on pole not once, but twice in the 2 qualifying sessions. And lining up alongside him will be Rowan Campbell-Pilling, who's just getting some final words in there from the team. And, of course, for XL Motorsport, a UAE-based team that has branched off into the United Kingdom to race there, and it has expanded. And, of course, we heard from Kevin before, it's been a very fruitful endeavour as well for them, not putting just the United Arab Emirates on the map, but of course XL Motorsport. So let's get off the grid and let's head back upstairs to the commentary box.
So we are back now in the commentary box, and that means we're about to go racing here for the first time in Formula Trophy for 2025. This is round one. It is a 25-minute race. We have 1 minute to go. It'll be 25 minutes plus an additional lap. Once again, the double yellow flags are being waved at turn 16. Now, this is something that we saw throughout all of our races earlier this morning and this afternoon as well. Not sure why those double yellows are being waved at the final corner, but there you go. Now, Alp Oxoy from pole position is on his formation lap now, and of course the rest of the field will follow him. Remember, Alp Oxoy, the Turkish driver, a rookie as well, a lap time of 2:01.552. Absolutely stunning lap from that young man to put it on pole position. Rowan Campbell-Pilling joins him alongside with a 2:01.724. Theo Palmer with a 2:01.852 in the number 7. Then we have the number 19 in 4th overall. Hunter Salvatore in the 60 lines up on row number 3. David Cosma-Christopher lines up in 6th position on the 3rd row of the grid, with Peyton Westcott alongside Adam Alazari for company there on the 4th row of the grid, the 98 and the number 12. Rafael Vicen, another one of our rookie. Actually, he's the 2nd highest rookie, and it's incredible to think that you have to look 4 rows down the order just to find the next rookie. Just that's how quick Alp Oxoy is here at the Autodrome, and alongside him is Scott Kin Lindblom in the number 5. Leon Hetfors alongside Philip Richards. It will be an all-rookie row 6. Chen Sikong in the 63 lines up in 13th. Alongside him, Patera Hani Halim from Malaysia in the 88, another one of our rookies. So a lot of rookies sort of in that mid-pack there at the moment. And then we have Jaber Sabha in the 83, lining up in 15th position on row number 8, alongside Noah Kilion in the number 13. And then we have the rest of the field. We've got the 16 and the 17 that will share the 9th row of the grid. Then we have on row number 10 the 30 and 99. And then we have the 58 with the 55. And then at the tail end of the field we have the 64 and 26, making up a total of 24 cars that will take the start of our first race here for Formula Trophy. This is round 1 of 3. Next weekend we'll be racing at the Yas Marina circuit in Abu Dhabi, part of the F1 weekend. But here we are on the weekend that celebrates 54 years of the United Arab Emirates. This is the weekend of Eid al-Ittihad. Back in 1971 was when the United Arab Emirates was founded, and today we go racing right when it's sunset as well. So this is going to be very, very tricky conditions for these young drivers. It's not easy for some of the specialists that do endurance racing and stuff like that, who race through nighttime and daytime. This time of day is not the easiest time to race at all. So a real challenge for all of our 24 drivers here today. So through the final corner comes Alp Oxoy, and Rowan Campbell-Pilling is alongside him. Of course, Alp racing for Mumbai Falcons Racing Limited, and then the car that lines up alongside him is for XL Motorsports, we spoke to Kevin Day about before as well. Very happy to have one of his cars inside the top 2 when it came to the qualifying session earlier today. But now the cars now slot into position. You can just see how big the field is as well, because we're still going through turn 16 right there at the tail end of the shot. You can see now the first cars have pulled in, and that's not exactly what they want there, because now the temperatures get cooler, the car starts to cool down, so do the tyres as well. So they're losing valuable heat that they really want, necessary heat as well, for when they go down towards the first corner, because of course they want to be at optimal temperature, and they want those cars at the back of the field to really just slot into position, watch those lights go on, watch all 5 of them go out, and then racing for the first time here at the Dubai Autodrome for round 1 of the Formula Trophy. It will be a 25-minute race plus 1 additional lap. The engine notes start to rise, so that means we have lights on at the moment. As soon as they're extinguished, we are under the starter's orders. Oh, there's a little bit of a creep there from Alp Oxoy. I wonder if the stewards will pick that up, but we are racing officially here for the first time in Formula Trophy. Down towards turn 1 we go. We're going to keep it nice and clean for the time being. A great start there from the Turkish driver. Can he keep everyone else behind him? It's a high-tech GP car that's coming through pretty quickly. Sorry, high-tech TGR car all the way around the outside. Now, that is the number 7. That's Theo Palmer trying to take that position away from the Turkish driver, but he's had to settle in for second. Everyone gets through cleanly. Better yet, no, they don't, because through the first corner, we've got a lot of cars going off through the runoff area and have to go and take the runoff area through turn 2 as well. But so far, it looks like a decentish start from everybody so far. A little bit of a wobbly move there through turn 4 for what looked to be one of the GP cars. Now there's a car off in the background, that's one of the AGI Sport cars. That is the number 13 of Noah Killion. Unfortunately, he started on the 8th row of the grid. Now, why is he retiring that car? The good news is that he's found a hole in the wall, so he can reverse that car back in, and that means we stay green flag racing here. I've got to say, this has been a mighty impressive start so far from all of the Formula Trophy drivers here. Now, down the back straightaway we go for the first time. It is now Moxoy here who leads at the moment, but by how much we'll have to wait and see when they come across the line for the first time. A yellow flag is being shown at turn 3 and 4. That should be for where Noah Killion's car is, because that car should be pushed behind the barrier. Now, that is a very slow 99 as well, and the safety car has been deployed. That is Arthur de Donker going slow for XLGP, and that's not the way he wants to start here as well. So is that some sort of damage that he's picked up? Let's have a look at where Arthur should have started. He started on row number 10, so he wasn't in close proximity to Noah Killion, but during that first corner incident, they may have come together, and that might be the reason why Noah has gone back behind the wall, and why Arthur is that slow as well at the tail end of the field. Now, this gives him a bit of time here to sort of readjust, have a quick chat with the team, tell them exactly what's happened, what's going on, what can they do to adjust it as well. So the safety car deployed there. Here's the replay of Noah going off through the runoff area through turn 3 for AGI Sport. The number 13, unfortunately, looks like the first race of the weekend has not gone as planned, but very minimal damage on the car as well, so the team won't have to be working on that a lot. Now, that's the 58. Now, that's a car that we didn't see going off anywhere, and we have a look through that. That's Yuta Suzuki, the Japanese star for XLGP, and that is very unfortunate, because I have a feeling that is both of the Axel GP cars that have had problems, because that 99, the Dutchman, de Donker, was slow and at the tail end of the field as well. So for that team, that is not the way they would like to have started this race weekend. So unfortunately, that means we're 2 cars down, bringing a total up now to 22 cars on the field instead of 24. We hope that the teams will be able to get those cars recovered to the garage and have everything fixed for tomorrow, when we have 2 more races that will take place. I guess it's good to get it out of the way in the day that we only have a single race rather than one that we have 2 races, because it gives the team a bit more time to prepare the car. And you can see just in the background then, you see the marshals pushing that number 13 back behind the wall into a safe position. So that's 2 cars that we've seen that will go behind the wall. One is already behind there, the other one is being pushed back. Now then, where has everybody ended up? Well, Oksoy continues to lead here. The man from Turkey leads ahead of Theo Palmer. Now the safety car is coming in this lap, so it's a very quick safety car procedure here. So it will now sprint away with Alexander Sanibas driving that BMW safety car down the back straight. The lights will be extinguished on top, and that means we're back to green flag racing here in the Formula Trophy Round 1, Race 1 of a very quick and hectic season here in the United Arab Emirates. All cars are running with Pirelli slicks on each of the 4 corners, giving them optimal performance around the Dubai Autodrome Grand Prix circuit configuration here. Next week we head over to the Yas Marina circuit around the full Grand Prix configuration there, and then the final round as well will have the same layout. So the safety car boards are out, as are the yellow flags. They will be withdrawn in a few moments time when we go back to green flag racing here. The good news is that de Donker did not go into the pit lane, it did the Dutchman, but actually now it's showing the 30 car is at the tail end of the field. So did that position change before the safety car came out, or is that a position gained behind the safety car? Because if that's the case, that is a big no-no. You have to get that position back, and if you do not, you get a penalty. So I wonder how the driver from the United States of America has got now stuck behind de Donker, because the 99 was definitely the car that was shown at the tail end of the field. The green flags wave here once again at the Dubai Autodrome. We are back to green flag racing in Formula Trophy. This is race number 1 with 19.5 minutes to go on the restart. Oxoy will be the man to lead them across the line as well, as a full field of Formula Trophy cars work their way across the start-finish line on the restart, and now this is game on. We've had a little bit of a rest here during the safety car period. We're going to have 19.5 minutes of frantic racing here, and it looks like Albert's got a fantastic restart here as well, really putting a gap between himself and Teo Palmer as well in that number 7 to give himself a bit of breathing room. And now that means that Palmer drops into the clutches of the Campbell Pilling number 42. Now Salvatore got a great start as well, started 5th and is now shown as 4th, so he gained a position on the opening lap, getting past the number 19, putting the Italian down a position here in the Pinnacle Motorsport number 19, and he'll be wanting to get that position back. Position changes happening all through the field as well, as Oxoy continues to lead here. Look at the gap that he's already building. There's about 2 car lengths separating him and his closest rival already. And now we've got cars darting off the racing line, trying to make a move wherever they can before the heavy braking zone down towards turn 10 here at the Dubai Autodrome. It's 0.4 of a second is the gap at the line last time round, but that was after the safety car restart. We see system moves being made further through the field. Now, would that be the 17 on the 55 or vice versa? I think that was Charbel moving past in the 55. The young Lebanese driver making headrooms here for Yassi Racing and moving up the order, but it's a little bit further back where the action is really happening here. We've got 4 cars all battling for position. That's one of the XL Motorsport cars as well, right in the thick of things there as well. There is one of the 4 Yassi Racing cars as well that have been entered into this round of Formula Trophy. And we now complete the first racing lap under the green flag as well, because the safety car pretty much came out immediately, and now we can have a look at where the gap is between the number 10 and the number 7. It was 0.4 of a second on the restart. What is it now? Has Palmer managed to stay with Oxoy? 0.9 of a second is the gap. It's gone up by 0.5 of a second as the rookie extends his lead here in the Formula Trophy. Now, despite it being a trophy round, there are still points on offer. There is still a trophy to take home at the end of the series as well, because points are awarded. It's 25 points for a race victory, and Oxoy here looking to capitalise and bag those 25 points immediately. Now, it says turn 1 incident, the number 13 and 58, Kilian and Suzuki, is under investigation. Now, those two, did they start in relatively close proximity? So 13 started 16th, and Yuta Suzuki started in 21st. So there were at least 4 or 5 other cars in between those two, so that must have been one of the in the Formula Trophy. So 1 race today, 2 races tomorrow, and that will continue throughout the race weekends that we have here for Formula Trophy. It will be 3 races per race weekend, 2 qualifying sessions to set up the field as well. It will be 25 minutes plus an additional lap for each of the races as well as they continue on here. So Oxoy continues to lead by 0.9 of a second. Then it's a further 0.5 of a second back from Palmer to Campbell Pilling, and then Salvatore is a further 0.6 of a second. But once again, Oxoy going purple through both Sector 1 and Sector 2. The driver from Turkey really putting the pressure on, just showing how quick he really is here in what is his rookie campaign here. And to be a rookie and to be this quick out of the box is mighty impressive, as you see moves further through the field as well. The top 4 now starting to break away from the others. An XL Motorsport car under pressure there as well. Now, is that David Cosma, Christopher under pressure from the number 19? Yes, it will be, because the number 19 is now losing positions and falling into the clutches of Adam Alazari from Yassi Racing in that number 12, currently in 7th position, and they're going to take it all the way down to the first corner. Here we go. On the inside is the 19, and David has to agree to get that position back for the time being, but he's going to fight back and try and take it back from Nicolo, and fights his way through the first sector as well. Now, 1 car already been warned about track limits, make that 2 cars, but in 2 separate locations. The 55 was the first car to be pinged about track limits. The 64 is the next car to be warned about track limits, and you don't want to do that again and again as another car being warned about track limits. And now you can see actually on our screens here we have first warnings. That means if you get 3 warnings, you will incur a penalty, and that is not something you want to have at at all, especially when you're locked in a battle like we're seeing on our screens right now. So the top 4 are breaking away, and then 5th onwards is having a fantastic battle. That battle is being led at the moment by David Cosma. Nicolo just behind him in the 19. Adam Alazari, Scott Lindblom is part of that as well, as is Patton Westcott. All battling for position, and this is going to slow them right down as well, allowing the top 4 to sort of break away. It's a second warning coming in for track limits for what looked to be like. Now let's have a look through. I think it was a 64 of Jordan Moodley who receives that second warning about track limits. One more, and that means a penalty will be applied to him. Whether it be at the end of the race, it most likely will be handed to him at the end of the race. That could drop him down the order. Currently Jordan Moodley, now where is he on track at the moment? Is he in a battle? Well, he's currently 20th position, and he's actually lost out to the number 30, which of course Jay started the restart actually at the tail end of the field, and is now back up inside the top 20, tucked in behind the 55 of Charbel at the moment. So we continue on here, having completed 4 laps already. The gap up front, 1.1 seconds, separating out Oxoy from Teo Palmer, and Rowan Campbell Pilling sitting in 3rd, lurking behind the high-tech TGR car. Of course, Rowan started in 2nd, and one of the Yassi racing cars, and that's Adam Alazari, trying to go a bit wide there down the back straight, right up tucked behind him as well. Now is the Red Bull livery, that's Skotkin Lindblom, the Swedish driver, tucking in behind him now and trying to work his way up the order. He's now up into 8th position. Started in 10th, so he's made 2 positions already in this race with just over 12 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock. It's 1.4 seconds up front as Aksoy, the rookie, continues to extend his lead here. Now, when it comes to the podium presentation, we're not going to have 2 presentations, we're just going to have a single one here, and it will be for overall, and the rookie will be called out as well to join the top 3. But in this instance, it looks like the top rookie will also be the man that stands on the top step of the podium here as well. Aksoy, who's been really able to extend that lead here at the Dubai Autodrome and really have that pole position work in his favour and keep a cool head as he works his way around from Teo Palmer, who sits in 7th. Now, it looks like the 19 has moved up, so Davide Cosma Christopher has lost out of position, moving down to 6th place overall, but he's applying that pressure and he's going to try and get back past the Italian that's in front of him. Will the Romanian? Now that's what it's showing on the left-hand side of your screen, top 3 in class in F4. We've got overall and we've got rookie. So in the rookie, well, let's start with overall actually, because we have Aksoy in the lead of the race, set ahead of Teo Palmer, ahead of Rowan Campbell Pilling are your top 3 at the moment. Now in the rookies though, it is Aksoy, and we have to look a long way down the list to find the next rookie. It's the 77 and the 4 that are currently battling it out. They're separated by 2 seconds at the moment between the 2 of them. Actually, I'm looking at the wrong timing screen because that gap is actually a lot closer between those 2. It looks like it's only 0.6 of a second when it was at the line. It looks like it's still 0.2 of a second between them at the moment, but the gap up front extends by 2 seconds for Aksoy, who continues to stretch the legs there on that Mumbai Falcons Racing Limited car here. 2 seconds to the good, but then it's further back, it's 0.4 of a second. The battle is on for second here between Palmer and Campbell Pilling. The man that's racing for high-tech TGR and the man who's racing for XL Motorsport battling out there for the second step of the podium. Now, in terms of Yassi Racing, we've got to look down to Alazari, who's currently in 7th position at the moment. In that number 12 is more track limit warnings are coming through. Down the back straight we go, and just everyone looking for an opportunity to seize a position and take away valuable points from those in front. Remember, it's only up until 10th position that you get points. 25 for a race victory as we look at the Swedish driver. That is Skotkin Lindblom on the inside through turn 10 and using as much of the track as he can. And with him there was Peyton Westcott, the American, in 9th position. That was the battle for 8th place, those two were vying it out for. And now that has brought a few cars behind them into the mix as well. This is actually good news for Alazari because that pushes a gap between himself and those two cars battling behind him, giving a bit of breathing room and not having to worry too much about looking in the rearview mirror to see who is where, on the right, on the left, behind him, wherever they are. Now he can focus on attacking the car in front of him, which would be Davide Cosma, who is in front of him in the 6th position. Now that gap is 1.8 seconds, so Adam Al-Azhari's got a little bit of catching up to do here if he wants to be inside the top 6 here in the first race for Formula Trophy. This is race 1 of 3. We'll be back live tomorrow for the next 2 races as well, as the field work their way across the line, as Peyton Westcott trying to stay in the tow as Scotkin Limbold tries to break it there from the American, trying to force him back. But he now, with these two battling, they're losing ground to the cars that are in front of them, including Adam Al-Azhari. Now just behind them is one of our Dutch rookies, Felipe, in the 77 in close proximity as well. He's just waiting and biding his time, waiting just for something to happen here. Of course, this is sort of the first race for them in the Formula Trophy here. A lot of them have a lot of experience racing in Formula 4 cars around the world, but a lot of them are rookies here. They're really sort of honing their craft and learning from those who have experienced, not just here in the United Arab Emirates and the surrounding regions, but from, of course, around the globe as well. It's a real learning opportunity here, but at the same time, it's a point-scoring opportunity as well. 10th is one point, but 9th position, well, that will give you, let's check how many points that will give you. That will give you an additional point. You walk away with 2 points instead of 1, and the points are very valuable here in this championship, or this trophy rounds, excuse me. As Oxford continues to lead here, 2.8 seconds to the good over Palmer, and then it is still Campbell Pilling who runs in 3rd position. The 10 from the 7 to the 42, and we were briefly looking at there, that's David there, Cosma Christopher, still trying to find a way past the number 19. They're separated by 0.7 of a second, and actually it was a personal best on the previous lap there for David. Now, Headforce receives a warning. It's his first warning as well for track limits down at turn 12. Got to be careful now. The team are going to be relaying that information to him, trying to avoid him doing it again. Just keeping him cool and calm on the radio. And look at that gap that Oxtoy has now built between himself and the car behind him, because now what we had was a 2-way battle for 2nd place. Now it's turned into a 3-way scrap for the 2nd step of the podium. We have Rowan Campbell Pilling, we have Theo Palmer. Well, those positions are actually swapped because Palmer is in the lead of those two, and it's Campbell Pilling in 3rd position, but they're in 3rd, lurking behind the Hunter. Hunter Salvatore, to be exact, is the man that's sitting in 4th position at the moment and lurking. He sniffs an opportunity here. He sniffs a possible 2nd step of the podium. He's going to really try and stay with these two here as well, as they work their way out of Sector 1 and through Sector 2 onto the back straightaway. This is the prime opportunity now to stick in the tow and really gather some speed, really pick up some momentum and try and flank to the right-hand side of the track, heavy into the braking zone, and try and take one of these 2 positions away for Hunter here in that number. Now, where did Hunter start, actually? Did he start further down the order? No, he started in 5th position, so he's gained a position here in his Evans GP car. With just under 6 minutes remaining on the clock, plus 1 additional lap here in Formula Trophy. 3.2 seconds is the gap up front, but we have plenty of battles brewing all over the place. Westcott trying to keep Felipe at bay behind him by 0.3 of a second. We have gaps brewing or closing up further up the field as well. Palmer is just 0.5 of a second from the number 60. The 60 in turn is 0.5 of a second back from him. Sorry, that was Campbell Pilling, is 0.5 of a second back from Palmer. Car number 5 is under investigation for forcing a car out wide. Lindbaum and Westcott. So it was Westcott that was forced out wide. Now, did we see the tail end of that move going down towards turn 10 a couple of laps ago? Or was there more to that story that we didn't quite see on our live feed here? So car 55 has just received a warning, the 3rd warning for track limits as well. Charbel has picked up yet another warning about track limits. Now that should mean a penalty is applied. What I do have actually in front of me is the sporting regulations, but to make me get through all of it might take me a bit of time here to find the penalty. Will it be applied? if they get 3 penalties. Now, okay, so the stewards may impose penalties. A 5-second penalty will be added once the race has finished. But now, what does it say it could be applied for? It should be track limits. There's also an opportunity to get a 10-second penalty, a drive-through, and a stop-and-go. Now, those are things that you do not want to have at all. A drive-through penalty is something you don't want, nor is a stop-and-go either, because that means you have to come into the pit lane. And when a pit stop is not mandatory, you want to avoid the pit lane as much as possible in Formula Trophy. So 4 minutes plus 1 additional lap here, and that is one of the XL Motorsport cars. That should be David. Indeed it is. It's the Romanian trying to take back that position and move past the number 19 of Pinnacle Motorsport, Nicolo, behind the wheel of that car, the Italian, keeping the Romanian at bay at the moment. This is the battle for 5th position on track here, behind that scrap for second overall. Now, a 5-second penalty has been applied to one of our Swedish drivers. Skotkin Lindblom, will receive a penalty, and it may get worse for him because he's just received his 2nd warning about track limits as well. Just over 3 minutes remaining on the clock here for Almoxoy, who is our race leader and hasn't looked back one single time. The gap he's built now over the 10 laps have been racing here is 3.3 seconds, and it just gets quicker and quicker. The time gets bigger and bigger between himself and the high-tech TGR car behind him of Palmer, who's done a great job at keeping Rowan Campbell-Pilling behind him, along with Hunter Salvatore as well in that number 60. But for how much longer does the 42 and the number 60 want to stay behind him? They want to get through because, of course, they want to chase down the leader. They want to chase down our rookie leader as well to try and capitalise here and bag 25 points in their hunt for this Formula Trophy title at the end, which will come in 2 weeks' time at the Aston Marina circuit. So 3.333 is the gap up front, and still the XL Motorsport car here of David Cosma Christopher cannot find a way past the number 19, and it seems to be he's been stuck behind Nicolo for the longest time throughout this race as well. He just hasn't had an opportunity to get close, close the door, and find an opportunity to sneak on through on the inside. Now, it does actually look like these two are actually catching the 3 in front. The 3 in front, they were battling for 2nd position overall. If we look further back, those two are actually battling for 5th position overall, but it seems to be they are catching up as we have a look here at Skotkin Lindblom for the high-tech GGR team. He, of course, has that 5-second penalty. Peyton Westcott behind him doesn't have a penalty, but that penalty was applied to him because of pushing Peyton off, pushing the American off here. So that would actually move him up a position, and that will benefit really as well. We'll get him some points. Now then, if we actually look at the timing screen, because if he gets handed that 5-second penalty at the end of the race, which he will, Scott will drop back to... Will he drop further than 11th? Yes, he will, and that's unfortunate for him because that puts him out of the points. He will not score any points in this race. He really has to put his foot on the pedal now and try and build a gap of 5 seconds on the cars that are behind him. Not just Peyton Westcott, but the rest of the cars that are behind him as well. That includes Felipe Leon and Butera as well, who is still within 5 seconds, and even looking as far back as 13th overall, Jabba Sabah is actually in contention to move up a position as well, despite being 13th. So at the end of the race here, he could actually be 12th overall when the checkered flag waves. But we still might have some penalties being dished out. We'll have to wait and see what exactly happens to see where everybody is. So less than 30 seconds remain on the clock here for Almoxoy, who has led from the get-go. No matter if it was a green flag or a yellow flag, has been out there in front. And the driver from Turkey really showing his true pace here today and starting the Formula Trophy series off in style with 2 pole positions already, and it could be a race victory as well in 1 lap time. Remember, it's 25 minutes plus an additional lap here in Formula Trophy. Almoxoy looking to start his campaign off as strong as possible, walking away with 25 points to his name. 3.4 seconds is the gap up front between the number 10 and the number 7. Rowan Campbell-Pilling is a little bit further back by 0.5 of a second. I say a little bit further back, he's not that far back, is he now? He's 3.4 seconds. That's quite a gap between those two. But of course, Palmer keeping Campbell Pilling at bay for the time being. Still 0.5 of a second. And Salvatore still lurking, still trying to figure out when is the right time to take not one, but 2 positions away from the 7 and 42 that are in front of him at the moment. He wants to capitalise, he wants to move ahead, and he wants to score as many points as he can to start his campaign off in Formula Trophy as strong as possible. Looking back now at Lindblom and Westcott. Westcott was the car that was pushed off wide. We are now on the final lap of the race. Just 1 lap to go for Alp Oxoy. Our race leader has led essentially from the get-go through the safety car and now on this very last lap. 3 sectors to go. That's all that lies between him and the top step of the podium, and a nice chunk of points as well. 25 points in total is what he'll be walking away with if he comes across the line in the lead of this race. Now, if we look a bit further back through the field, we're actually looking back once again here for the second step of the podium. This has raged on since the safety car came into the pit lane. Rowan Campbell Pilling has been trying to chase down and find a way past the number 7 for as long as possible. Palmer behind the wheel of that car, and then of course Hunter just lurking, can we say hunting in the background for a second or third step of the podium. Can he capitalise here? Can he force the 2 in front to make a mistake? But they're a little bit further forward than he would like them to be. He would like to be a lot closer than that. So we'll have to see what happens now as they work their way through sector 2 and 3 here for the final time, as the leader is on the last lap of the race here. It is 12 laps completed, it'll be 13 in total. 3.1 seconds is the gap, and Lindblom's day goes from bad to worse because he's just picked up another warning here for track limits. Race leader working his way through the bowl for one final time. 3.1 seconds up the road from Theo Palmer, and Rowan Campbell Pilling. Through the final corner will come the man from Turkey. Alp Oxoy will take the first win here in Formula Trophy and start his campaign off in style for the Mumbai Falcons Limited Racing Team. And then across the line comes Theo Palmer. Behind him, Rowan Campbell Pilling for third. And of course, Alp Oxoy, not only does he take the victory overall, he will also take top honours in the rookie category as well. So our rookie winner and overall winner will be on the same step of the podium. Just 3 drivers will be on the podium here at the end. What a fantastic drive though here from this young man. Didn't have to look back once. 3.2 seconds at the line. I think the only time he had pressure was through turn 1 on the first lap of the race and on the safety car restart, but from there he didn't have to look back once at all. Did not need to defend his position, and of course he'll do the same thing again tomorrow where he'll start from pole position. So a great start for his campaign here for the young Turkish driver. 25 points scored here. And of course, all races will be 25 minutes plus an additional lap. Now, just for some clarification here on the rookie status. So a rookie driver is considered to be a driver that has not competed in more than 3 single-seater race events. So our rookies here could have some experience racing around the world in similar machinery, but the fact that Alp Oxoy has come into this race with less than 3 races under his belt in these type of cars, and to come and win it in style like this, absolutely magnificent drive from that young man, and he'll be absolutely delighted to walk away with 25 points to his name. There we go, there are the provisional results for the time being. Alp Oxoy takes not only the victory overall, but he'll take the victory as well in the rookie category for Mumbai Falcons Racing Limited. After completing 13 laps with the number 10, Theo Palmer there takes second overall for High-Tech TGR in the number 7, and Rowan Campbell Pilling will take third overall for XL Motorsport here. So 2 drivers have the experience inside the top 3, but when it comes to the rookies, Aloksoy is the one to beat. We have to look way down the order to find another rookie in the field. It shows on our screen that Peyton Westcott is a rookie, but on the other screen that is not the case. Felipe is the other rookie. Now also this screen that we're seeing right now is not the updated one, because remember, Scott Lindblom, despite coming across the line there in 8th position, will fall down the order. Now looking at where he will finish, he finishes 11th, so he does finish ahead of Putera Hani Halim, and of course he finishes ahead of Jabba Sabha as well in the 88 and 83, so those two will stay in 12th and 13th position overall. So we can have a look down now at Parc Ferme here for the winner's circle, essentially, our top 3. There is Aloksoy there, being congratulated by his entire team, posing for pictures as well, and the social media duties too. And he'll pose for a picture in front of his first race victory here in Formula Trophy, and I hope many more to come. That was a fantastic drive from the young driver from Turkey. Let's have now a look at the highlights from the first race of Formula Trophy.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now having the podium ceremony for the 2025 Formula Trophy Round 1 right here in Dubai, Race 1. And what we'll do is we'll bring out our top 3 in reverse order. Ladies and gentlemen, from in third position, please welcome from XL Motorsport, Rowan Campbell-Pilling. In second position from High-Tech TGR, Theo Palmer. And to the top step of the podium from Mumbai Falcons Racing Limited, Alp Aksoy. And I also have to bring out our Rookie Cup winner, but guess what? There he is on the podium already, your Rookie Cup winner from Mumbai Falcons Racing Limited, Alp Aksoy. A fantastic drive there from all three of them, but a mega drive there from Alp. And now it is my honor to invite Felio Furtado, the Dubai Autodrome Motorsport Manager, to help us present some trophies. He will first have the third place trophy that'll be handed away to our XL Motorsport number 42, Rowan Campbell-Pilling. We invite him back to present the second place trophy to Theo Palmer. From, of course, High-Tech TGR. And last but not least, we invite him back to present not one, but 2 trophies to our winner, Alp Aksoy from Mumbai Falcons Racing Limited. So now let's bunch up for a group photo, all 3 of you, and Felio as well. They will take a group photo all together. And what a race. It was a thrilling way to start Formula Trophy. Now, gentlemen, if you want to, it's time to start spraying the fizzy juice that you have in front of you. I've been told they don't have spare race suits, so I'm going to run away as fast as possible away from all of this. And it's a very, very calm podium. There we go. We've got the champagne open. And that is an end here. And that brings an end here to the first race of round 1 for the Formula Trophy. A fantastic drive from the man from Turkey, Alp Aksoy. Has anyone got in store to be as quick as he can? We have to find out tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you tomorrow for race 2 and 3 right here at the Dubai Autodrome.